And we're back with another episode of Let's Play Car Mechanic Simulator 2021. I'm your host, the RPG Guy, and our first big DLC car from the ground up, I believe, are the Nissan Silvia S15, which, upon further inspection, says SR20, but I guess it's not relevant. But we're going to take a look at this bad boy and get it up and running. But first things first, we need to buy a crap ton of crap that's missing out of this piece of crap. Strangely enough, it seems like it's very similar to the car we just worked on, which actually helps. It looks like it'll use a regular radiator. Let's buy some of this stuff now so we don't have to deal with it later. That way we can, we also need to fiddle with a few things just to have it done. So let's get to it. That air filter is high quality. It's a quality. Let's go back into here. And let's grab this Radiator A. Let's buy these things. Brake servo. Power steering. Okay. Buy this guy. This guy. This guy. The intercooler is elsewhere. But that guy. I don't know if we bought a battery. Did we buy a battery? Yes, we did. Now, it's going to sound weird, but I don't know what clips we're going to need on this one. And the reason why is I think it has to do with what kind of car we're dealing with here. Look at that. All of those are filled. Okay, I think we got everything. So... Alright, well, we'll figure it out in a moment, because we're going to go repair that stuff right away. I know I'm doing things a little out of order, but I feel that it kind of has to be done. In order to just minimize the amount of extra work we got to figure out in menus and stuff. And it's mostly because of the air filter, because I don't trust the mechanic of it. Okay, they are clip A's. See, that's what I was talking about. Look, there's no radiator fan that goes in this. So, and I wanted to check on stuff like that, because I was worried there would be, and it would be very different kind of layout and slash loadout than what we would be expecting. So, doing under the hood first, to me, makes sense for this DLC car, because we don't know what fucking problems we're gonna run into dealing with this thing. So it's just good to knock that out right away. We don't have the fuses, so we'd have to order those, which we should probably do now. And we'll get the upgraded intercooler. Because, oops, I bought an extra one of those. God damn it. And the intercooler we have to put underneath the car, so it makes sense to get it now. So we don't fuck that up too. Ooh, there was an extra one. Gosh darn it. A lot more fuses going on. I actually ended up buying an extra fuse of the wrong type of fuse, too. That definitely doesn't help. Okay. Let's do the body, shall we? And we might not see too much custom body parts, or high-tier body parts, because it's a custom car. Clean. Look at that. Starting to look like a brand new car. Put it back. Well, we'll put it in the one slot since nothing's there. Okay. I like how it's the British style with the steering wheel on the other side. That's pretty funny. So this is a British style Silva. Nissan. Very interesting. Or at least British controlled or British operated area at some point. I don't know. Alright, let's take a look at the body pieces here. So yeah, the Nissan Silva is not even showing up here. Silvia. Yeah, it's not here. Everything we need is there. So let's see what we can repair. So the rear bumper is good, and the right door is good. Everything else is bad. So we have a right door, and we have a rear bumper. Front bumper, left door. We've got the right door. We've got the rear bumper. There we go. Let's assemble. Alright, looks good. We have some Euro plates, specifically Britain. There it is, Great Britain. Okay. Getting somewhere here. Get these rims off. Strangely enough, it's letting us get it out through here. I was not expecting that. Pull that apart. Okay. Probably gonna have to do at least 3 rims here. But I'm pretty sure one of those rims is bad. Though at 18%, it might survive. Who knows? It might survive. Okay, so we're getting the best case because there were only 2 rims when we started. So we're covering the 2 rims now. $16 inches. So 2 of those. $205, $55, $16. $205, $55, $16. And then let's go ahead and get these put together. Tires assemble! Oops, I didn't do it the other way. Darn it, I should have put the tire up first. I don't have a tire now. Getting pretty lucky on these tire balancings. Or wheel balancings, for what it's worth. There we go. Let's see. Oh, that's already not a good start. We can go here. Oh, shit. Like removing stuff that I actually need to keep track of. That should cover the front. Don't know about the other side. We know we need that. That now before I forget. I think we're okay. I think we're okay now that I've done that. Find out. A lot of parts missing from this car and the last car we worked on, which in turn are going to make... You would think it'd be faster for us to repair, but it tends to not be because we got to figure out what's missing. We're missing this part. So we know we at least need 1 of these. We don't know if we need both. And again, guys, like I said, in turn, it makes it harder to diagnose. It's even missing the drive shaft. I just realized. Is it a dual? I cannot... No, it's not. Okay. Oops, we just needed one of those. Let's buy this now because I kind of screwed it up and I don't want to accidentally buy two $400, almost $500 rear mufflers. Okay. Well, we do not know if it's in the gearbox. It is. And it's a frickin' arm and a fucking leg. You know what? Get it on the list so it gets bought. Regardless of when we gotta put it on and where we gotta put it on, we should always make sure that we have it. Oop. Okay, same flywheel. Let's go ahead and disassemble this. It's missing the lower suspension. So I don't remember the type of outer rod or whatever thing it is. I mean, I'm sure if we go to suspension here... Yeah, it's not there. Yeah, it's not showing up. Hold on. Just... Oh, you know what? They're links. Yeah, we don't know if it's A or B, so we shouldn't really mess with it. I'm a little wonky. I don't know. I feel disoriented for some reason, and I don't know why. It must be just one of those days where you're just kind of barely coherent. It's happened to me a couple of times in my life. I say in my life because it's not a common occurrence. I just feel discombobulated while playing a game. Like, in the way that I feel right now. I've felt weird playing other games, but not this disoriented for some reason. Alright. That whole undercarriage is pretty much taken apart. Let's repair what we can. Good to see the rod spring caps in there because we know we got to repair one of those. Or we gotta buy one of those, rather. That's the only cylinder I've seen. Which probably means the other 3 cylinders are bad, but we're not gonna know until we move a little further along. I see 1 caliper, so again, good sign. There's another cylinder. I don't care if that fails anyway. We had to buy a new one. We're just not going to get the money or the scrap for it. So, whatever. Okay, I see 3 cylinders. It looks like we may only have to replace one of them. I might have missed the 4th cylinder. Oh, nope, we need 2 cylinders, I think. Definitely 1. I hate being tired. Clearly being tired is not a good thing. Those. 4 of those. 16. 8. 2. Because we don't know if we need the second one. Oh, I can't order for that. I need the disc. Okay. Get this in, shall we? Okay, so we got both of those sorted out. I think I needed another one of those. Alright, let's see the caliper damage here. We have 1 caliper, so we need 3 calipers and 2 cylinders. I want to buy the other thing until I know for sure. Since I totally wasn't paying attention as closely as I should. So we need another one of those. Okay. Okay, I was right. Did I not add that either? Of course I did. that all in. Again, still not paying as much of attention as I should, I assure you. I think these are A's, aren't they? Or, yeah. Just strolling through as fast as I can. Okay, none of those are good. One of those is bad. I know I just bought those. Oh, but maybe not. Maybe not that. Still got an engine to do too, guys. I know it's taking longer for these newer cars. Maybe it's just that, and I'm out of practice too. The last episode and this episode has been a while since I've played because I was out of town. You know, holiday shit, and everybody's like, you need to show up, because you need to show up for the holidays. And it's like, okay, I could be there for this many days. And they're like, no, you need to be there longer. I'm like, nope, can't do it. Gotta work. I come from a family, I know I've told a lot of you, I come from a family of teachers, and they're used to getting, a week or two. In my brother's case, he gets, I think, 3 off for Christmas, the holidays, right? And I've never had that long off. I've had maybe, in my entire life, I've had maybe 3 days off the most. And this year it's like, because Christmas is on a weekend, or what, but by the time you guys see this, it was on a weekend, it's like I get nothing off. It's like, they expect us to be back working on our contract work stuff immediately. And I work for a Japanese company that, yes, celebrates Christmas, but their philosophy is very similar. Oh, look, Christmas happens on a weekend. It means you're back to work on Monday. And thus it is. I mean, I could take time off, but then at that point I'm taking time off that I, One thing I've learned for working for a Japanese company is they expect you to work. They don't expect you to take time off whenever the hell you feel like it. You take time off at your own risk of getting your own work done. So they don't fuck around. And, my folks have been, my folks especially, my brother gets it. He's like, dude, I hear you. I've heard, he's like, I've heard the rumors. So he gets it, but the rest of my family does not. And I wouldn't say that they're any term of any kind. It's just they're not used to not, people not getting that time off. And my mother hasn't worked like a 9-to-5 job that hasn't been teaching. Okay, teaching is a 9-to-5 job. It's a very hard job to do. By no extent of the imagination is it some kind of easy job. It's just it's a non-standard time job. It's like even government, most government workers are back to work pretty soon. They don't get like the whole week off because the DMV got to be open. The transit's got to be open. So and so yeah, it's really just teachers who get that time off, not really anyone else. And it's a shame because it's, I wish we had that time off. I just wish we did. But the problem in that respect is as soon as I get that time off, I would expect to have that time off all the time. And the reality is, it's just that you don't get that time off all the time. Get over it. You're not that important to the system. you know. And it doesn't matter whether you I'm not going to get into the politics of it, but your political stance has nothing to do with that. It really has nothing to do with that. Because every government, things don't work without people. We're not evolved enough technologically to remove people from the equation of work. So until we've gotten to that point, there's no point in even talking about it, really, because we're just not there. And the fault is, whose fault is that? It's not anybody's fault, really. It's just, that's how long it's taking. So, and it's going to take a while. I'm going to buy the rings here. I do love how people try to fight for things politically and they don't even know what the hell they're talking about. Because they're so detached from what goes into the things, the novelties that they have. That they think, you know, pretty much cell phones grow on trees. Oh, I could just walk into a store and get one. The stores are selling it. They're not building it, dude. It's much more complicated than that. And then they'll look online, do what I call the armchair research, and then say, oh, but all we have to do is these things. Okay, how are you going to do that? I don't know. That's not my job to figure it out. Well, if you're going to protest about it, if you're going to make a big stink about it, it is your job to figure it out, numbnuts. Because if you don't have a solution, then protesting solves nothing, does it? Because you don't have a solution. And that's really the problem of most movements. I'm sorry, just you don't have a solution that's coherent or works. I know, it sucks. It really sucks to not have those answers. And you have to have answers that don't harm or hurt other people. And it's, you know, easier said than done, man. Easier said than done. It's the reason why these things are so difficult. Life's hard. Yes, it is. Doesn't matter whose life you're in. It's hard. I guarantee it. Oh, really? No camshafts or intake manifold. Oh, wait a minute. No, yeah. Okay, so no custom of these. We got the spark plugs. So I guess we have to go here. So we can't seem to really upgrade the performance on this type of car as much as we have been on some of the others in the past. Because, and I have a feeling it's because it's a DLC car, for first and foremost. Looks like we've, no, I think I bought 2 of those. Shit, I bought the throttle here. Did I not? That's right there. Okay, so we got those, but there wasn't one of these. Okay, so I ended up buying an extra one of those on accident. So, yeah. Ooh, Turbocharger. Okay, so we need 10 of these. Okay, so we have a few things that make up for the other stuff. Okay, for some reason... Oh, that's why. Okay, I was going to say, for some reason we can't put a lid on that. And that would be why. We need to put the timing chain in. I did not put these in, did I? I know, that deep commentary. It's not even that deep, it's just bluntly true and obvious, to be fair. I mean, it's deep because it's something people don't ask themselves whenever they bullshit out of their mouths something. You know, famous historical lesson was the man who took over, ran Germany into the ground because he was kind of a psychopath. I call him Adolf Elizabeth Hitler. No, I don't think that was his actual real name. I'm actually curious if that was. Did the musical get it right? Did the producers get it right? Jokes aside, big time. It's like, let's get back here. Really got to think. Are you trying to prevent what that guy did, or are you just emulating what he did yourself? If you're not asking yourself those questions, then you're not thinking about what you're doing hard enough. That's really the thing. It's like people look for what they call the shortest, easiest way to solve a problem. And just because it's the shortest and or easiest way to solve a problem doesn't mean that you're not creating 30 problems to begin with. I mean, theoretically, a doctor could do a heart bypass and use bubble gum to close your wound, and theoretically that might work, but it doesn't mean it's the right way to do it, and in turn you can hurt the person you're doing because you're doing it a half-assed bullshit way. So, as all things in life, nothing is easy, nothing is simple, and to presume that something is would make you ignorant. Huh? Alright, I think that's a pretty good engine. And not looking at the entire problem from all perspectives is equally a problem. Understanding that every person's needs and desires and wants and functional things that they need is different. Okay? So much goes into a human being, more so than just surface level bullshit. Which is really what it is most of it's bullshit. It's surface level. And you always should ask yourself, well, what if that's not what's causing this? Like if you look at a problem and you say, what if this isn't it? What if it is something more simple than what I'm looking at? Occam's razor, usually the most likely explanation is usually the most likely. The most likely observation is usually the right one. But it says usually. So you should look at all the things that could be doing it. Even sometimes self-infliction. Sometimes outer infliction from another. Sometimes wanton infliction, meaning that something that somebody's doing is causing that to happen to them. They don't know that that's what's causing it, and you could say the other side is just reacting to what is happening. There's so many things that have to be figured out. So many. So many. I think most people in the world want what's best for the world, right? For everybody. Regardless of anything going on in their lives, everybody wants what's best for everybody, and in the pursuit of that, you're not always going to get everything that you want. Because some people just have the most bizarre expectations. Or the world has to live by a set of guidelines, and and we should all be treated the same way through those guidelines. And there's a lot of ifs, ands, or buts and things that go into that. And like I said, I just don't think, people have much to comment about that they don't understand. It's very complicated. It really is. I know. I'm giving like the most emptiest answers to very deep questions that exist, but the fact of the matter is, it goes back to what I said earlier. It's just like, I guarantee you, most people bitching about everything that's wrong in the world are not looking at all the solutions. They're looking at a singular solution and not understanding how that solution may affect others or what that solution's overall thing is. And it's funny when you can win any debate by saying, well, what are the other options? And they go to something stupid like war. It's like, no, you haven't thought hard enough about the issue. There's clearly a reason why a lot of people don't agree with you. There's clearly a reason for it. Or even a majority or even half. So really think about that. There's cool things we can do to help society, and we haven't really done any of them yet. And it's always disturbing to find out that we've not really done any of them. Guess we'll just go with the factory color. Screw it. But it's weird because the door is going to be a different color. So look at that. That's really weird. I could have sworn we fixed the door and the bumper. Hold on, what's wrong? Did we not? Well, the door's in 100% condition. Well, we're going to have to replace these parts anyway because they're not painting right. Even though... So there's something for the DLC people to fix. We have a perfectly good bumper and a perfectly good right door. But they would not paint to the factory default for some reason. And it's still not. Look at that. Oh, wait a minute. That might be the same one as before. We don't know, do we? No. See, it says it's black, but it's really not. There we go. So that's interesting that that piece can't be repainted for some reason. I mean, I don't care either way. But that's interesting. I mean, we got to repaint the car again because of it, but huh. That's clearly a technical oversight. And I get not being able to, put a livery on it because it's a DLC car and they may not have made one for it, but expect that you could paint over parts that you repaired. See, now it looks like a proper complete car. That would be so weird if it didn't work out that way. Alright, let's go to the dyno. And see. And don't worry, guys, I'm not going to be so woe is the world the next few episodes after this. I think a lot of it is I'm just tired. A lot of it's I'm tired. People annoy me. Because they refuse to actually put any thought into anything. Where do these things come from? How are these things done? Where is these things made? How are these things utilized? What do you actually need? What you do need? What you don't need, Yeah, not as much performance. We didn't even hit 50%. And a lot of it, I think, has to do with just the nature of the beast, which is the car has certain elements that belong to it that we can't upgrade or modify because it's a DLC car. So our DLC car is bad in that regard. They're bad in that regard that you can't fully upgrade things that normally in the standard cars you could, but you pay for that, right? So yeah, it does make you wonder, like, is there a better option? Is there a better way to handle it? But yeah, so those DLC cars are interesting to rebuild for sure, but there's clearly some negatives to it. One of them being that you can't put in fully upgraded everything that you would put in a car with normally the same kind of layout. Like, there were no upgradable camshafts for this car. There was various different parts that were just not upgradable. So it makes you wonder. Ooh, and it makes me wonder. Over 299, 305. We're going to run out of road. We got about 312 before we legitimately had to stop, and now I've broken through the world. And I am falling now through the world. Let's return to garage before the game freaking crashes and says, "Oh, you followed through the world." So yeah, we fell through the world. That was absolutely hilarious. Didn't think that would actually happen, but we went so fast in that car, we went through the world. Oh man. Okay, so at least got up to 300 kilometers per hour. Again, a very valuable car to repair. Definitely has its issues though, if I do say so myself. So interesting. Send that off to parking. And before we finish, we have no cars to work on, so we definitely do need to go to our parking and see what we have. I believe these are all finished cars in Alley 1. In Alley 2, however, I believe these are all finished except for the bottom 2 to 4. So let's go to the alley really quick. So we can bring in 5 different cars. Straight up, mate. We can bring in 5 different cars. Let's just see. I know we did this a Boolean. I got my list right here, which I did not update. We worked all the way to the Bolt Atlanta F mill, and I don't even see that here, which means it's in the. Oh, there it is, right there. The Bolt Atlanta, the Sixon Cebulian is there. We got a Himata Moon Mark II. The Bolt Chapman, I know we worked on. Bolt Chapman standard. The Ribson we just put in there. The Nissan Silva. So yeah, it's really going to be this Tempest Magnum, which I believe is a different type. It's the OHV supercharged. So we definitely want to see this guy in our shop, because though we've done a Tempest Magnum, we've not done... Yeah, no shit. I'm missing from the car. We're going to move that bad boy to the garage. I don't think we've done the FMW Panther. We're going to look. We might have. If we did, I would be surprised, but I don't think we did. Yeah, so we'll take that guy as well and put him to the garage. Let's go to the Emden Jaeger. I don't remember working on an Emden Jaeger. I remember making jokes about it, though. Yeah, we've clearly not worked on this car. So let's go ahead and move that one. And the Atom, our first electric car, I believe. Got a noise for that. Let's go ahead and move that to the garage. Now, let's go back to the garage because we're not quite done yet. We have room for one more car. And I do want to check the other garage because the other garage is a mishmash of fixed and unfixed cars as well. So we definitely do want to check that out. Parking. I think these have all been worked on, except maybe the GT20. Yeah, let's go ahead and go to Alley. We only have room for one more, but I do want to look at these other cars. And see. With eyes unclouded by hate. I doubt we've worked on that. Did we? Oh no, the wheels are missing. It looks like we did, but it's can't tell from here. We'll move that to the garage. Okay, and that one's clearly not ready. Okay, we can't, yeah. Okay, so we definitely have 5 new cars, plus 1 more in storage. So probably after the next car, we'll definitely pull this sucker out. So that way all of the cars that have to be worked on will be out of the alley. That way we can figure it out. But money's going to start becoming an issue. I doubt we have enough money to fix all 5 cars while buying new cars. You understand where I'm getting at? I have a very strong feeling that those are things that we will not be able to accomplish in one go. So, yeah, really got to think about that. Because, yeah, we've got new cars in here. Look like they freaking put the Adam Renton in here. Oh, boy. And the Jag. So, definitely 2 interesting cars here, though. And then these other cars are out here. So the next couple episodes will be interesting, as we have to go ahead and start repairing our first electric car for what it's worth, as well as another DLC car that may act up. I see the steering wheel is on the other side of the car as well. That's going to be interesting, because these are both DLC cars, so who knows how the game's going to react to us working on these. So anyway, thanks for stopping by, guys. Like, comment, subscribe, all the good stuff. Check out my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/EctarStudios, for more live gaming action. When we come back, we will work on this electric car, I have a feeling. I'm going to probably work on that. Worst case, if I just don't feel like dealing with the hassle of it, we'll go with the Jaguar, because definitely the engine, though its own pretty much engine, it'll be a standard engine versus the electrical engine and the complexities that go with that. So, anyway, thanks for stopping by, guys. We'll see you guys next time.